Just visit the new CalgaryHerald.com with more of everything worth knowing.
So I was in bio class, sitting up against the wall where the windows are. There's windows on both sides of the room, like here. And all of a sudden the boat just started keeling over slowly, and it always does that, like with the wind, like it just gets pushed over. And like the railing has gone underwater before, and it wasn't a big deal. But then it just kept keeling over because we had the wind coming from above. So it just kept pushing our boat further down, and then the window hit, like the water hit the window, and you could just see, like all you could see was blue. And the classroom was just like completely sideways, and that's when we knew like it wasn't going to flip back over. Like we had to get out of there. And so we crawl out of the room, like there's computers just like smashing against the walls. The windows are cracking, like the ones up against the water. And we climbed outside, and like the boat's completely sideways, so like you can't stand on anything. Like we're climbing up onto like the side of the boat, like on the railing.
Thought maybe our signal had failed. We were just thinking the worst. Yeah. We thought our signal had failed and nobody knew, and it could be weeks before we were saved, and just the worst like life or death thoughts are going through our heads, and we were all panicking. Our second mate, Rob, was the only reason why I personally stayed sane. Yeah. I know that for the rest of us, Rob was such a help, but we were thinking the absolute worst. We were gonna starve, we were gonna die. And then when we saw the plane,
we were just,
it was like
we were crying because we were just of happiness. Like,
because we knew someone was coming for us. We knew we weren't going to die in a life raft.
I suppose could use the word miracle for this. It was fortunate that the students were in class and on deck, otherwise it might have turned out differently. But given that set of fortunate circumstances, everyone did remarkably well after that. There was no panic, and we got everyone into the rafts in pretty short order. So I was incredibly relieved when we counted 64.
My understanding is there were only very minor injuries, but they've gone through a very, very difficult period, having to abandon their ship, spend considerable hours in a life raft, and then making their way here on the Brazilian Navy ships and merchant Navy ships as well. We're extremely grateful to the Brazilian authorities, the Brazilian Navy, for an extraordinary support and accompaniment over the last few days.
We were on that boat for 38 hours, the little life raft. 38 hours.
How was it in the Brazilian ship?
Well, when we got rescued by a Filipino boat that was carrying soybeans, and they were amazing. Like, they were so great to us. Like, they got us food right away. They gave us dry clothes. Like, they're just so helpful, and like just the greatest people. And
have you talked to your parents already?
I haven't even like spoken to them. Like, I don't even know if they know where I am right now. Like,
don't you tell them something? A message?
Well, they know I love them. Like, I just want to go home and give them a hug. Like, that's all I want. I just want to be with them because like I miss them so much. But I know I get to talk to him like right after this, and I'm just looking forward to that phone call so much, just to be able to say like I'm safe and I made it through like a shipwreck, and like I don't know.
You're happy for being alone now?
Oh my god, like the second we walked outside and just like saw Rio, like I was just so happy that we like, because when we were in that boat, you'd look around, like we took shifts on watches so that we could like see if we could see a boat, and you'd look like in every direction, all you'd see was water. That's all you could see. You could see no boats, like there was nothing. It was just terrible. You just like had no sense of direction. Like it was awful. But